What up? What's up, guys? It's Bishop here giving you a review on Andy Mineo's Uncomfortable. Now, I know, listen, he just released the album like a week or two ago, and I wanted to wait longer because I think it was Sho Baraka who said artists spend days, weeks, months, even years on projects, and we judge them the next day. Like, I already saw reviews of people giving a review of Andy Mineo's album, and it's like been 6 hours. I'm like, just doesn't seem right. So I listened to the album. I try to listen to it like 40 times or so. Seriously, like driving in my car, working out, around the house, running, at work, whatever. Quiet, headphones, without headphones, car speakers, to take it all in. Because especially an album like Andy Mineo's, this project, Uncomfortable, production-wise, the best production album from Andy Mineo to date, and I would even argue probably the best production album of any Christian hip-hop album. Now, I might catch some flack for that, but that's the honest truth. With Ill Mind, I don't think he went wrong on one track here. And I'll be honest, I was a Heroes for Sale, Neverland, Waving That Flag, Love the Bitter songs, Love the Saints, loved You Can't Stop Me, loved, those type of songs. And Andy kind of went to an uncomfortable style and kind of switched it up. And in fact, he released that song Day Ones. It's a demo version. You can find it, I think, on YouTube still. It was on Rapzilla for a little bit. I got the MP3 if you guys want me to send it to you. But Day Ones, he said, sounded too pop, too much like pop. But he talks about meeting 50 Cent in it. So I think it was a great song, and could be a good song maybe for a future, release for free, like Lecrae did after Anomaly. But set that song away, although I thought that song was dope. The album, Worth Every Penny and More. When I first heard Uncomfortable, I loved it. I loved lyrically where it was at. I thought it was going to be like a David Platt radical book, where we're reading it and we feel convicted and that we're living not a radical lifestyle for the Lord. Instead, we're living too comfortable in a bubble, really not living Christ-like. But the album, it really didn't convict me in that way. Although there was those mentions, of watching Netflix and time is precious and stuff. The album for me was more of like, not a praise and worship album, although Jesus and God were mentioned a lot. I just like it as like a chill hip hop album, to listen to in a variety of places. Like I could throw it on if my boys are playing ping pong, or I could throw it on if I'm hooping by myself or running. My favorite tracks are Vendetta. I love the Tupac references, and I don't mean that in the sense of, well, because I love Tupac. I'm saying I grew up on Tupac. I grew up on hip hop, and so I can relate to the course of that song. And I loved not the mimicking, but in my opinion, the respect he gave Pac by putting a little bit of Pac style in there. But I thought that song was ill, because growing up and even today, it's so much easier to learn and get educated from artists that we listen to more so than even our president, because they influence us because their relatability. They talk to us like, through their music, like we're them, like, not that we're above them or below them, like it's on the same level. And so when an artist does that, like, in my opinion, like Andy does for me now, but a lot of artists used to be like that for me, influencing me to go left or right. In my opinion, that's part of being successful as an artist. And I really think Andy makes that transition in this album to really relate and to his audience, many different types of audience. So Vendetta, top track, Desperados with Mally Music, just ill. I'm disappointed Mally's not going on the tour, because I was looking forward to seeing him in concert, but I thought that song was just dope. Just bang, 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 Like, I can't even get that out of my head. Like, when I was running last night, actually, and that came on, and I was like, I mean, just the get up was like a "you can't stop me" get up. But Andy even made mention in an interview, he can make tracks like that. He can make the "you can't stop me's." He can make, you know, the Saints and those type of hard pumping tracks. But he didn't want to for this project. Those are probably easier to make. This is a little bit more difficult to make songs like this. And in my opinion, he's real, authentic, which leads to him being relatable. With "Hear My Heart" talking about his deaf sister Grace, I mean, I can't relate to that in the sense of having a sibling that was deaf, but I can relate to not being in my sibling's shoes in different circumstances. And so again, just Andy making himself vulnerable, talking about, you know, his mom busted in and walking in on him having sex, but not getting mad because apparently he was born out of maybe some immorality. So again, just kind of opening up some of his past, and making him relatable. And so I have the track list up. Uptown, you know, shout out to his home city. Gotta love that. Now I Know. It's a funny song. Again, I grew up with wrestling, so the very beginning of that song caught me, about the Stone Cold Stunner and the leg drop, NWO and X-Pac. I mean, I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, 1-2-3 kid before he was X-Pac. So I definitely related to that song. Rat Race, really love that song about, you know, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. I mean, you know, roof your ball. I don't want to play that game. I don't do it for y'all. I do it for making a difference. I don't do it for a throne, my name in lights. That's not why he's doing the project. Even though it's been very successful on the billboards, it's again a humble, meek way of approaching his music and saying, like, look, you can have that. I don't want that. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the glory of God, and I'm doing this like for me, not to win XYZ awards. And so that's what I really like about that. Ghost, about a song that, you know, of a friend that used to be in his life, should have been there with him still, but isn't anymore. I can relate to that. You guys see in my videos, my old videos, which is funny because I found an old external hard drive tonight with a bunch of old stuff that never before got released that I think I'm gonna release, so watch out. But Zach, my good friend, you know, he's not in my life anymore as a friend, so, you know, I'm thinking of that song and I'm like, yo, like, I never thought that would happen with Zach. I mean, we were like this, you know, I thought. So that's tough. That's real tough. But again, relatability. And I know I sound like a broken record, but relatability, him making himself vulnerable, all the while giving glory to the Lord. Just a joyful noise, successful project. Like I said, production-wise, just unreal. When you listen to this and then go back and listen to a lot of other CHH albums, you can tell the difference right off the bat. Love, great song. Strange Motions, good song. I mean, that's probably on the lower end of the track list for me. And finishing up with Make Me a Believer, that's top song. So you have like Vendetta, Desperados, Make Me a Believer, and Uncomfortable. Those are probably my top four in any way. Make Me a Believer, talking about the pain. Again, just what I've seen Andy just do, and the reviews have been great for it, is a lot of times you anticipate for an artist's next project, and you go in with, you kind of make it unfair for the artist, and you put them up on a pedestal, and then you get disappointed because your expectations were set here, and, you know, the album went here. And I'll be honest, my expectations were hoping to get another You Can't Stop Me. We're hoping to get another Bitter. We're hoping to get, you know, another Cocky, another Curious, whatever. And I got just the opposite. But it was worth it and even better. And so when an artist can do that, at least for me, you guys might disagree, but when I have expectations and he doesn't even meet any of them, but yet he raises the bar in a way that I didn't even think he could or would. That's what I think helps a successful project, and why I love it, and why I'm encouraging you to buy it and buy it for your friends and tell your friends about it, because it is. And I've saw it was on in the movie theater locally the other night. There was a promo for it, which is crazy. But it's not like the music videos for the album have been anything crazy, or extraordinary. But it doesn't matter. I mean, after getting married, you see the maturity in his music. You see him growing as a person while his music's growing, both for the better, both positively, more maturely. And I'm excited to go to his tour, his concert coming up. So what do you guys think of the album? Like I said, I dig it. Out of a 5 stars, I give it a 4. 4.2 maybe. I want to go 4.5 because there are a couple songs that I felt like it was a little short, and I know he took some songs out and a track didn't make the cut. If you watch the Saturday morning cartoons, you understand that, but it's hard with David's Roof and Strange Motions. It's hard to give it that 4.5. Some people are saying 5 out of 5. That's their opinion, but and I would say Neverland and Here's for Sale were like a 3.5 and maybe a 3.7 on the scale. And like I said, I think this one progressively is better. But I just selfishly I wanted a couple more tracks, and maybe even some reach features. But again, by him not doing that, you throw Lecrae on your album, you're probably going to sell a couple more units. You know what I mean? For him not to do that is saying, even though he's still on the label, independently, he's taken the step to say, this is me. I'm going to have these features, and that's what's up. Bold step, courageous step, uncomfortable step, but a step that I think proves that he's about the music, he's about the glory of the Lord, and he knows what he could do to sell records. He could make a You Can't Stop Me Part 2. He could throw Lecrae and KB and Tadashi and all those guys on there. Heck, he could throw Social Club, who in my opinion, or John Gibbs, like these other Jay Givens, any of these other artists that are slowly rising, throw them on. NF, all of a sudden you have all these dope new MCs on one track. Are you kidding? That's what Marty did, for Marty for President. But he didn't do that. Not saying it's right or wrong that he did. I'm just saying he didn't do that, and he was able to pull off, in my opinion, his best project to date. So go cop it. Go support Andy. Go support Reach Records. All those guys. Be praying for these guys as they're going on these shows, killing these freestyles. Pray for them. They're on the front lines. They're on lines that you and I can't reach where we're at right now. So love you guys. Thanks for watching.